Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their souls. Avoid loud and aggressive places. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, all is a greater and lesser person than yourself. You are a child of the universe, so let me breathe the sound. You have a right to begin and whether or not it is clear to you. No doubt ignorance is unholy and it's true. Enjoy your achievements as well as your time. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real progression by changing portions of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of errors. Be yourself, especially if you're not paying affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all the ridicule and discontent, it is a surrender of the witness. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit.
Yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Maple listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Milburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village with the Sam and Marjorie on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org, and the only radio show covering all your news, opinion, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Maple and surrounding communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. and reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Hey Margie, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm fine, Anselm. How are you?
Oh, today is a fantastic day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the days are always beautiful. Any day that you wake up, it's always a great day. You know, I had this thing was actually working.
With the music piece?
Yeah.
And then it went
piece,
back.
And all of a sudden, it just went back. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're gonna trudge along anyway. So how was your day, Marjorie?
The day was fine. It was PSAT day. So I didn't have to teach anything. Just proctored an exam for about an hour and a half, and the rest of the time I spent taking care of business at my job.
Okay. So, you know, today was...
It was an easy day. And how was your day? Oh, any day is good.
Yeah, every day is a fantastic day. You know, I think you went to the Parents of African Descent meeting that they had last night.
Yes, I did.
How was that?
It was a good meeting. About 13, 14, 15 parents were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good meeting.
There was like 14 parents?
14 parents. It seems like they're trying to regain their footing that they've lost since they met the last time. And they seem to have been on some kind of sabbatical during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it was a good meeting. I'm going to just leave it at that point. The candidate running for county freeholder, Gary Jones, was there, as well as Kurt Kiley.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running for the Maplewood Township Committee.
Running for the Maplewood Township Committee as an independent. And other members of the community. Dion, again, representing Malokwa. People pretty much voiced complaints, not around this lawsuit at all. There was no discussion of that. But he did, Mr. Jones, provide a report back from the Board of Education debate, which we both attended. So,
But why weren't they discussing?
I can't answer that. I
What was
got there
going on?
5 minutes late, as usual.
Mm.
And there was no discussion of why that wasn't discussed. But there are other issues in the community and, suggestions and ideas that people are looking for. Of course, I offered my suggestion, and which was welcomed very warmly. But indeed, the community does seem to need a voice, and people seem to be looking for somewhere to expend their energies. And a number of things were talked about, which I emailed you or texted you over. The idea of, there's a concern about so many people moving here, which is a wonderful thing, but especially with the apartments that are being built, people seem to think that these people are not paying taxes. So I insisted, of course, the property owners are paying taxes.
Wait.
Yeah?
That.
Taxes are not being paid. If you live in an apartment, and those are the new apartment buildings that are being or have been constructed, that some of the units are going for $3,600. That goes toward the district, or the town, that is. And the town, of course, the majority of your taxes go toward the school system. And so this whole idea of a tax abatement for these apartments, I don't know. I mean, I really would like to investigate that more because I don't understand how. I would think that you would build apartments to increase the number of people in the community in order to increase the tax base. And that would thus take the burden off all the rest of us. Or, shave off a couple of dollars or stop the increase in our taxes.
Well,
but, I don't know what the story is about that.
I'm not a real estate expert, but a lot of these developers get what's called tax abatement. And in order for them to come build something in your community, you have to give them an incentive in order for them to come build something.
I don't think that's cool. Because...
So what are you going to do with this space?
Well, I mean, you can leave the space fallow. That's not the important thing. But I would think that if you wanted people to move in the community, and especially if, and I don't know about most people, but certainly I did, and probably a lot of people start out here as a commuter. You're just really working in New York and living here. But paying taxes here is, something that we all need, to increase the revenue of these towns. So you have these...
What about the renters? What about people that rent the houses?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if you're renting a house, if I was renting out my house, the taxes, of course, are included in the...
Right, but let's say, for example, you are a single person and you own a house in South Orange and Maplewood and you're paying the taxes and someone decides to rent their house and they got 3 kids. Those kids are going to go into the school system, right? Because it seemed to me that the concern is about the more people moving in and the more crowded the school system is going to get.
Exactly.
Right? So there's a lot of renters in South Orange and Maplewood.
Yes, but there's a tax on your property, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a tax on my property. If I were to rent my home for $2,500 a month, the tax is included in that amount of money that the person is paying to rent the home.
But the owner of the building is paying taxes.
Well,
but he's
according
not just,
to these people, they're not paying the...
No.
Oh, well, I mean, we would have to look into it because what else is a tax abatement?
Yeah, because if it's going to cost you $100,000 a year in taxes, we're going to say, well, look, for the first 10 years, we subsidized maybe $40,000 of the taxes.
And then you pay the $60,000. I would hope
that's what I think. That's what I think.
Well, we need that's something we need to investigate. Because I found that I'm like, I don't think that's possible. How could you live here or own property, rent it out? You build up. Considering the amount of space, let's say the property acreage or lot that you're on. Let's say if we built that and made it, 5 stories high and stuffed, 20 families at least in that. Well, I mean, I don't know. So I'd like to know more about that. That's something I'd like to know more about.
I think I think something that they may be sort of missing, which is more important, or a lot more important than anything else, is when these apartment buildings or these buildings are being built, they have to set aside for low-income housing.
I would think so.
They have to.
No, well, yes, you think that there's a law there, but now I'm not 100% sure of this, but I know that, let's say there's a dwelling or a home or apartment building, and it has, 20 apartments in it, and you're going to set aside, 4 or 5 for low income families, but then you can get away with that by selling the value of that to another community.
I think they outlawed that.
Really?
Yeah, they outlawed
I don't know
that.
what that's called.
I know, it's called Mount Laurel housing.
Mount Laurel
yeah.
housing?
Yeah. The first Mount Laurel decision of Southern Burlington County NAACP for the Township of Mount Laurel, 1975. It attacked the system of land use regulation in place in the Township of Mount Laurel on the ground that low and moderate income families were unlawfully excluded from municipality. In the decision, the Supreme Court held that zoning ordinance, which make it physically and economically impossible to provide low and moderate housings, were unconstitutional. The case is known as Mount Laurel to distinguish it from subsequent litigation. Because I did a show on that, regarding the different apartment buildings. There was a next one over on Burnett. There's the one on Burnett close to the Heart.
That's
right.
Probably the building that they're talking about.
Right, that one too. And in the past,
was a goal to sell off the low
income? What the township would do is that, they didn't really want low income people in their town, so they would sell it to some other township. They were allowed to do that.
Isn't there something like a cap on?
Yeah, but you can't do that anymore. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
That's good.
If
so let me go find an apartment
for
low income people, and I can go move in it. That would be cool, then. I would like a nice apartment in South Orange maybe 5 years from now.
It's low income.
Yeah, so I should be able to fall into that.
It's not low-lying income.
What do you mean by low-lying income? What's that mean?
It's not low-lying income. It's low income.
What's
it's truly low income. You got to prove.
Lying as in lie?
Yeah, there you go. You got to prove your taxes and everything else. You got to show, W-2s and everything else. Income statement. Well, not income statement, but taxes.
Yeah, I understand.
So I think that's kind of important. But I was going over the report, the whole report, not just the report from any one of the newspapers. I went to the ACLU website, and I actually brought up the report itself.
And I did too. And this is 54 pages, so I don't know how we're going to deal with this.
But what I did is that I went just to certain factors that I thought were very important.
Okay.
As far as the report is concerned, and there were some things that I've been saying for the longest while, and it was like word for word. What I felt like, someone was listening to me. Someone from the ACLU was listening to me, and they said, "And Sam, all these years we really couldn't do much. We didn't want to do anything. We want to make sure and accumulate all the statistics first before we do anything, and then we're going to do something." And here is one. I'll give you an example of one.
Okay, now listen. No, before you do that, tell me where you're at.
Okay, hold 1 minute.
So, because this is a large document, so what page are you looking at?
Hold on, let me go to that page. But you see, okay. I'm on page, I can go back. I stopped on page 9 last night. I went up the page, I went from page, okay.
Well, wait a minute. Before you go there, maybe we should, refresh and review about what this is all about before we give the cold hard facts of the whole deal. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, if we're going to do that, I'll rely on